Hey everyone, this is my new rice cooker from Our Place, and it uses fuzzy logic to help cook rice evenly. So what is fuzzy logic? So when an experienced cook is cooking rice, they aren't just turning it on and off. They are constantly monitoring what's in the pot to make sure that the heat is at the right level. So they might start it at full blast in order to get the water up to a boil. They might turn it down to a bare simmer. Once it starts boiling, they'll turn it down even further as the rice nears completion. And then at the end, they might leave it off to allow the rice to finish steaming. A cheap rice cooker doesn't do this. So they usually work in just two modes. When you turn it on, the heat goes on. It cooks at that same temperature until most of the water is absorbed. Once the temperature sensor at the bottom senses that the temperature is going up, it shuts it off completely. And this sort of works as an okay approximation, but you also end up with sort of unevenly cooked rice, and very often you end up with a sort of scorched layer on the bottom. So that on-off binary with cheap rice cookers is what the problem is, and fuzzy logic fixes that. Fuzzy logic is a branch of math that was developed in the 1960s. So computers typically think in binary, so it's either 1 or 0, on or off, true or false, whereas humans, we think in analog. So we can say, not just it's hot or it's cold outside, but we can say it's very hot, or it's really hot, or it's only a little bit hot, or it's pretty cold. In the same way, we can say the pot's at a rolling boil, or the water is barely simmering. So fuzzy logic is what allows computers to make calculations based on those sort of in-between states. This rice cooker, which I co-designed with Our Place, has a temperature sensor in the bottom, and it also has one in the top. And through those sensors, it can tell exactly what's going on inside the pot at all times. And it applies fuzzy logic in order to adjust the cooking temperature in real time. So that is what engineers and mathematicians call fuzzy logic. That's how fuzzy logic works. But really in practice, all you need to know is that it helps you cook perfect rice every time.